Good evening, I am Adventure Argonaut. This is the Golden News, and we will see what the news were after I confirm that my streams are functioning as usual. And my computer is deciding to be slow as usual as well. Okay, so Kick, Twitch, and even Twitter are working. How about Rumble? Yes, okay, and let's get this. Hey, why is this live? Welcome, welcome. Have I seen you here before? Don't remember your name. Okay, okay. So let's go to the first story of the week. And I didn't have time to put write the title. So yeah, this is of course about ICE killing again. The killing of Alex Pretty in Minnesota by ICE. So let's see, where's this one? All right, that's that one. So the man executed by ICE has been identified as an ICU nurse, Alex Jeffrey Pretty, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen and Air Force veteran from Minneapolis. He was an innocent civilian brutally murdered by ICE. And just looking at his nose, some people have, well, yeah, that was my reaction to seeing him, assumed that he was Jewish, but apparently he's not even Jewish, just for the record. And I guess I should start closing these tabs to make the computer work a bit faster. But here, first go back to Rene Good. Trump says the killing of Rene Good was a horrible thing that ICE is going to make a mistake sometimes. Like, oops, sorry.
And they're going to make mistakes sometimes. ICE is going to be too rough with somebody, or they're dealing with rough.
God damn it. To change. What's going on now? All right, okay, let's see. To play with or I guess because my speakers are not. I'm using headphones, but it's not in my headphones. It's on the TV speakers right now. I guess I just have to bear with it.
And they're going to make mistakes sometimes. ICE is going to be too rough with somebody, or they're dealing with rough people. They're going to make a mistake sometimes. It can happen. We feel terribly. I felt horribly when I was told that the young woman who was.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So at least it's good he's admitting that it wasn't a good thing. She wasn't some foul terrorist. Like she probably wasn't the best person in the world, but still, I don't think she deserved to get shot. And okay, and the Pretty, of course, he was carrying a gun and he had a license for it, and this was the picture shown by the authorities. But there are claims that it was already posted online somewhere else prior to this incident, that they didn't actually. This a fake image, but some are saying that this claim is fake, and I don't know what the truth is. Okay, let's see what this says here. Handgun image in this post is a recent photo from the um, 24th of January 2026 Minneapolis shooting incident as released by DHS. Claims that is an old stem from a misinterpretation of reverse image search results. The photo was uploaded today to a pre-existing Reddit thread. Okay. So yeah, so that's, I guess, misinfo that So this photo should be genuine. Then that's what I'm getting at. So there's no shenanigans there or anything. Okay, take a moment to look at the inhumanity captured in this extraordinary photo running on the front page of tonight's Minneapolis Star Tribune. It shows federal immigration agents immobilizing protesters on the ground and spraying chemical irritant directly to his face. The scene reminds me of brutality used against civil rights protesters in the 1960s. We look back at those old photos and wonder how the authorities could have behaved so savagely. Many years from now, young Americans will look at these photos from 2026 and wonder how anyone could have justified shooting a woman in the head as she tried to drive away, arresting a 5-year-old school children on the street, and holding a man down and spraying chemicals into his face. Thanks to the Star Tribune reporters and photographers for documenting this work, they create accountability, they make democracy work, and they make all of us in journalism proud. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what's the well, I guess, this guy is not gonna be dangerous anytime soon. Like if he's already held down like this and then I spray that stuff on his face, like I guess he's gonna be immobilized for a while. But it's like, what's exactly? Are they? Is this like regular police procedure that while they are already down, you spray whatever chemical on their face? Michael Jones says, we are witnessing in Minneapolis the Israelization of America's police. They have been trained to deal with fellow citizens the way Israelis treat Palestinians. Well, not quite yet. Like I guess it's moving in that direction, but like they haven't, totaled all of Minneapolis yet. And here is Magoo PhD's interpretation of this event. I don't know. Can I show it on stream because it shows a man getting shot? Like maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't show the whole thing. But anyway, so for one, Agent A calls gun. Then Agent B unholsters his weapon. Agent A disarms suspect's weapon, which was in holster. Agent A accidentally discharges confiscated handgun, and then Agent B shoots suspect in back. So according to this guy, the first discharge was accidentally the agent shooting the British gun. Like I don't know whether that is factual, whether that's what actually happened, but that's his interpretation of it. Because it is quite messy. But like for me, like um, the first, let's say, a skeptical idea that came into my mind when I first saw this video was that, like, how does it like let's assume that Alex Pretty was, you know, he was there to do harm to the ICE agents, and he was a bad guy and stuff. Like, do they still need like 5 agents, like, or like they cannot keep him down, they cannot hold him down, and prior to this he was already sprayed in the face with pepper spray or whatever. So they can't hold him down, and the only way to restrain him is to shoot him in the back. Like, at best, that's very incompetent. Like, Alex Pretty, he wasn't the Incredible Hulk. They should be able to restrain him, but they're just either incompetent or psychopathic, maybe both. Like, and of course, like, it doesn't seem like Alex Pretty was there to, do any violent things. Uh, so yeah, here's they show that somebody, yeah, they push the woman, and then Pretty tries to help her and stuff, and that's then they spray him. So he interjected to protect a woman shoved to the ground by Ice Goon, which in retrospect was a mistake. That interjection got him murdered by Ice. Yeah. And here says, this, okay, that's the gun. I think that's the gun of Alex Pretty that they took. So I've slowed this down in the huddle. One or more ICE officers shout gun, which this caused another officer to draw his sidearm. Another officer removed the man's sidearm and then walked away, but it was discharged negligently. Okay, so this guy also thinks it was accidentally discharged. And the SIG P320 is notorious for NDing, but typically only when dropped. That when triggered the other agents to think that the man on the ground, Alex Pretty, had begun shooting, so they neutralized the perceived threat. If this is what happened, it's an incredibly unfortunate accident in Minneapolis. It's not just an accident. Still, like it's still very incompetent. Like it's not like accident is something like oops, nothing we could have done. Like they could have held him down and made sure that it was clear he wasn't shooting anybody. Like, okay, let's say they hear a gunshot, they might assume it's somebody else shooting at them or something. Like, I don't know, either they're retarded psychos or just psychos. In Trump's America, do you hear shooting him in the back? In Trump's America, a masked federal agent will shoot you multiple times in the back while you are on your knees with your own hands behind your back after the pistol you illegally carried was taken from your holster by another masked federal agent seconds earlier as you were surrounded and beaten to the ground by multiple agents, and then DHS will claim the shooting was fully justified and that agents defensively fired multiple rounds into your back. Yes, this just happened and Trump defends it. Yeah. And hey, Stolen Hellcat. Oh, thanks for reposting. Welcome. But it's like this, for some reason, it reminded me because, I've seen comments on Twitter and elsewhere, Americans complaining, like, why are you foreigners talking about American domestic issues or American politics in general? Well, because whatever America does affects the rest of the world. They just, arrested the president of Venezuela a few weeks ago, and, they might be invading Greenland, although I'm not sure if Trump has scrapped that idea and so forth. So like, and Europe is flooded with refugees because of mainly American actions at the behest of Israel and so forth. So whatever America does affects the rest of the world, and here like the from me from a non-American perspective, looking at what ICE is doing and see a lot of right wingers supporting it is very alarming because it's the same kind of mentality that think that just invading Venezuela or Greenland or any other whatever part is just because it's for us that it's justified. So it is in our rational self-interest to understand what's going on in America. I'm not talking about Laos or I don't know, Zimbabwe so much because what happens there isn't as relevant globally as what happens in America. Anyways, what's this? A witness who was only 5 feet away from Alex Pretty filed an affidavit depicting what she saw. She says he didn't touch any of the officers, didn't appear to be resisting. He was merely helping a woman who had been pepper sprayed. Oh yeah, that's one thing I've seen. We are New Roman Babylon. I guess, yeah, Romulan. I am Romulan. It's like some, I don't know, space dictator from some B movie, sci-fi movie. But yeah, one thing that sort of rote answer some people have or to Pretty that he shouldn't have resisted. He should have complied with the officers. But like if he wasn't even resisting, he was helping the woman, and then the ICE officers didn't like him doing that. Then he got killed basically because of that and because they didn't like him. Anyway, she says she's terrified that ICE is looking for her and saying they are lying and she doesn't know what they will do to her if they find her. So the agents pulled the man down on the ground. I didn't see him touch any of them. He wasn't even turned towards them. It didn't look like he was trying to resist, just trying to help the woman up. I didn't see him with a gun. They threw him to the ground. 4 or 5 agents had him on the ground. They just started shooting him. They shot him so many times. I don't know why they shot him. He was only helping. I was 5 feet from him and they just shot him. The video I recorded of what happened accurately depicts the events leading up to the agent shooting him and several minutes afterwards. The video is attached as Exhibit 1. I have read the statement from DHS about what happened, that it's wrong. The man did not approach the agents with a gun. Oh, yes, they even claimed that. He approached them with a camera. He was just trying to help a woman get up, and they took him to the ground. I feel afraid. Only hours have passed since they shot the man right in front of me, and I don't feel like I can go home because I heard agents were looking for me. I don't know what the agents will do when they find me. I do know that they're not telling the truth about what happened. I've heard that other witnesses might have been arrested and taken to the Whipple building. There's a Whipple building. That sounds wrong. Like if this is some dreaded building because it's Whipple, it doesn't sound very serious. A statement from the parents of Alex Pretty. So we are heartbroken but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends and also the American veterans whom he cared for as an ICU nurse at Minneapolis VA hospital. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect a woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He had his phone in his right hand and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman, eyes just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you. And this is James O'Keefe, who was in Minnesota. He got this message. We know you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. So I guess it was his uh, subordinate or something. You're in Whiteford, license plate, blah, 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 from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. So this appears to be from leftist, not from ICE. So it's not like, assuming this is correct. Of course, this could be fake, but I'm going to assume it's correct. So, I don't know, like, is O'Keefe there to go protect, like, to whitewash ISIS actions? Why would the leftists be so against him going there or his crew? Don't know. Okay, in this video it appears the victim's gun was already seized prior to the first shot being fired. The border patrol agent in a gray jacket and baseball cap removes the firearm and walks away from the scene. Yeah, we already looked at. Yeah, I think he has a gun here. It looks like it. And then bam, bam, bam. So he was disarmed first, then executed was unarmed simply because he refused to comply. Haven't we seen this already? Well, I guess according to the other people, it's not simply that he refused to comply, it's because this guy accidentally fired the gun. So yeah, it is a misunderstanding, but it's grossly incompetent and no regard for human life from these people. Greg Bovino, I heard that, so he was like the ICE boss or something, but some claim he was fired. I'm not sure whether that's true. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. Well, yeah, it was in his pocket. So in that sense, yes, it's not incorrect what he's saying, but it is a lie of omission. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Well, that sounds like a lie. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. So what's the name of the guy who shot Alex Pretty anyways? Like, all these um, other cases where, a cop kills somebody, like, the George Floyd case, or what was the Zimmerman and all that. Like, we hear the name of the cop, but not here because, well, ICE agents can do whatever they want apparently. Positions ICE has taken. We can enter your home without warrant. You must carry your papers at all times, but we can ignore them and only our scanner matters. I guess it's some sort of face scanner, presumably. We can detain you anywhere, no matter your age, situation, or status, indefinitely with no access to lawyer and basically no right to a day in court. We can send you to a third world prison if we choose, but we can't bring you back if we made a mistake. And if you interfere with any of this, we can shoot you because you are a terrorist. How is this not a recipe for totalitarianism? Like, it might be, exaggerating it slightly, but I'm not. I don't think he's too much off base. And Congressman Randy Fine here says, who loves Israel more than anyone, an armed seditionist attacked federal law enforcement today as they were rounding up foreign invaders in Minneapolis. I haven't seen any foreign invaders. Like, that's one thing. Like, you could say it's for the greater good. Like, if ICE deports all the illegals and all that stuff, and then they accidentally kill a few innocents, like, you could say it's for the greater good. But I haven't seen any video of them arresting any Somalis or whatever. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but like, surely if they are really arresting lots of actual illegals and people that should be deported, like, surely the right-wing media is there to, the media that defends ICE should be there to document it and show, like, look at all the good stuff that ICE is doing. Like, why haven't I seen these videos? Anyways, the insurrectionist was put down. Well done. I stand with ISIS. They fight these foreign invaders and their treasonous allies. We will not stop until every illegal is deported. So just to point out, like, this guy, he's he would gladly sacrifice your children for Israel and all that stuff. And, like, if you defend ICE, you're on the same team with this guy. Dan Bilzerian says, you're a foreign invader and you are guilty of treason. We will not stop until you are deported. Interesting thoughts. Or put him in an oubliette. Oubliette time. So Khamenei of Iran. I'm not sure if this is like a meme or he actually said this, because this is a screenshot. Minnesotan patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have cancelled all meetings with U.S. officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. Help is on the way. MAGA, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So yeah, Iran supports American liberation. After the murder of multiple protesters by the Trump regime, Iran encourages protesters to take over the institutions for freedom. Yeah, and trademark. And yeah, this seems extremely hypocritical when Alex Pretty has been labeled a domestic terrorist and an assassin for having concealed carry, because of course Kyle Rittenhouse, yeah, he took a gun to a protest. A reminder that Kyle Rittenhouse showed up to a protest like this, and Republicans called him a hero. And yeah, I sort of, yeah, I think what Kyle did there, he was heroic, and he did nothing wrong. Like, of course, it's different because Kyle, not Alex Pretty, he wasn't even holding the gun; it was just in his pocket, and, like, of course, some circumstances are different, but like, some Trump supporters have been saying that you shouldn't take a gun to a protest, even though, like, well, it is legal to do so. So as this Matt Walsh says, an armed leftist went out with a gun to deliberately interfere with legitimate law enforcement operations, and I'm seeing some conservatives on this side claim that it might be ICE's fault that the guy is now dead. Insane. Some of you people will never fucking learn. Oh, look, he's doing the thing. So what did he say earlier? Gotta love that particular breed of small government conservative who goes on and on about abuses of power and even claims he owns guns so that he can resist the tyranny of the state and yet will defend police literally no matter what they do. Yeah, well, just technically, it's not police, it's ICE, it's different. ICE tells Legal Observer, we have a nice little database and now you are considered a domestic terrorist. And proof just like that your rights are gone. We have confirmation that Palantir database we warned about is real active and labeling Americans as domestic terrorists. It couldn't happen here. Well, it's here. Of course, this I don't know if this article here is correct, whether this event actually happened. That he said that somebody's on the database, but yeah, well, Palantir is a thing, and Saruman is looking into it. So yeah, it's probably labeling um, bad Americans as domestic terrorists or something similar. Before joining the Veterans Administration, Alex Pretty did medical research to help treat cancer. His work is published in medical journals. So good luck painting this extremely likable guy as a villain. Uh, Minnesota National Guard arriving in Minneapolis to protect Americans from Trump and the feds. I don't even want to hear both sides are the same BS ever again. Though some people have pointed out that maybe the National Guard is there to protect ICE. I don't know. Like I haven't heard news. This happened like 2 or 3 days ago, so I haven't heard any news of what the National Guard has or hasn't done there. Uh, Bovino shamelessly lies. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Well, that's not the case. So yeah, he was filming, he got pepper sprayed, he was trying to crawl away. They dragged him into the fray, disarmed him, put him on his knees, shot him in the head. He never once reached for his gun. Yeah. So if a United States Attorney Bill Essayli, so he is some sort of official, if you approach law enforcement with a gun, there's a high likelihood they will be legally justified in shooting you. Don't do it. So the U.S. Constitution, particularly the Second, Fourth, and the 14th Amendments, prohibit officers from shooting citizens merely for possessing a weapon that is not an imminent threat. This was reaffirmed in Graham v. Connor, which says force must be reasonable. And Massey says carrying a firearm is not a death sentence, it's a constitutionally protected, God-given right. And if you don't understand this, you have no business in law enforcement or government. Yeah, this guy should be fired or worse. This Essayli, he clearly has no idea what he's doing or saying. So on Alex Jeffrey, Pretty's ethnicity, not that it should matter. Southern European adjacent, the surname is a typical Italian one. Look carefully at his skull shape, body type. It's really clear that he was not Neanderthalic. I haven't found information about his religious affiliation, but he sang in a. Well, no, he is Catholic, supposedly. There's later on. Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna go into all that, but John Glover's John says he sided with the invaders, he betrayed his tribe and people, execution is morally justified. So people like this, so basically their argument is that uh, basically what ICE did was wrong, but because the guy who was shot was an asshole, so it was justified. So even though we don't even know, like I haven't heard anything about his politics, like it's sort of assumed he's left leaning, but like At least, I don't know, you'd uh, I'd like to hear him first say something really heinous before I would say that I agree with the decision to have him shot. Um, but like, but hey, I've talked about this with the killing of Rene Good. That I think I found it a more compelling argument to say that okay, it's just you should if they were to go shooting people for their for having their wrong political beliefs. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think it's a better argument than looking at the case itself, because it was clearly not a justified killing. So at least there's some sort of like a principle at hand that he was an enemy. But yeah, I don't think that's really like a winning strategy morally or tactically, that go just go killing civilians and stuff, especially like people can change their minds and stuff, even if British politics were something that I would vehemently disagree with. It's like I don't think that that's the solution to it. Like, if he's not in a position of power, like, it's different. Like, if he's a politician or some lawmaker or something with actual power, then yeah, I would, well, let's say, put them in an oubliette. But like, yeah, see, this guy is just seems psycho. He doesn't care. He just wants blood. He's completely demoralized. So what's this? There's some video. What does it say here? So I don't know if this is just some Chinese propaganda because there's a Chinese text here, or if this is an actual event that happened. See, like some people have commented that why didn't they just comply? It's like, I guess, but it's like do normal police behave like this? Like, these are very like aggressive and like hostile towards these people, and of course doesn't show what happened prior. Like, why is this situation happening? But it's like cops are supposed to show their face, and don't they have like a badge number and name or something? But it's just eyes. I wonder if there's gonna be cases of somebody just putting on clothes like this and doing some crimes and getting away with it because, well, they don't have to identify themselves. Dress up as an IS officer and commit some crimes and get away with it. I wonder. ICE agents in Denver are leaving these cards on vehicles after detaining people. It appears styled after Ace of Spades, a psychological warfare tactic from Vietnam, where US soldiers left the cards on bodies to terrorize the population. They are not even pretending this is about law enforcement anymore, and someone in that field of his thought referencing a war crime era terror campaign was a good branding. Okay, yeah. And a private jet belonging to a prominent anti-ICE, anti-Trump lawyers crashed in Maine. 8 passengers are dead. Lawyers have combined to spend tens of millions of dollars fighting Republicans in Texas. So, what's that guy's name? So, Jason Itkin, Arnold and Jason Itkin, Kurt Arnold and Jason Itkin. Okay. Somebody said they were of the tribe, so it's an interesting coincidence. Surely that's what it just is, right? Yeah. Simply incredible. Kash Patel declares you cannot bring a firearm to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple. This would break the law, he says. Has any FBI director under any president ever said anything so blatantly scornful to the Second Amendment? Yeah, does he know anything about the law? So yes. Wait. So he's pretty sad. Yes, both my maternal and paternal grandparents immigrated here from northern Italy. Michael Pretty told della Sera. So he's the father of Alex Pretty, the nurse killed in Minneapolis by the Border Patrol and the Border Police now. So yeah, he's Italian. Like he looks very Jewish, but like Italian and Jews, they for some curious reason they have like genetically look quite similar, or not just look but are. Um, and just like that, the left became pro-gun and the right became anti-gun. Yeah, and I said that the right wing is psychopathic and the left wing is sociopathic. And yeah, both sides are retarded and violently so in different ways. Mark R. Levin, first things first, why did Pretty bring a gun and ammo where he knew he would likely be part of a group physically confronting ICE during lawful execution of detention and removal of order? Why was he even carrying his weapon? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all that. Just, point out. This is one of the guys that support ISIS actions, these very small-hatted people, just like Randy Fine. So Jack Plosobiec, those of us who have legal carry permits know that it comes with certain requirements state by state. Having your permit and ID on you are basic stuff. No ID, that's an illegal carry. Lawful gun owners know this, and we practice it every day. But Jack Posobiec said in June 23rd, 2022, I don't know who needs to hear this, but all gun laws are unconstitutional. So I guess he supports unconstitutional stuff now. And I have confirmed that Alex Jeffrey Pretty was a Roman Catholic. Rest in peace, brother. You deserve better. May those who took your life burn in hell, in the fires of hell forever. So yeah, he was a Catholic. He is not Jewish, despite his nose. Why is ICE in Minnesota when Texas has exponentially more undocumented immigrants? Because Trump wants Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to call in the National Guard so that Trump can send in the army, invoke Insurrection Act, declare martial law, and suspend the midterm elections. It's an interesting thought. Don't know whether that's true, but possible. Take the gun's due process second.
Due process, so no one's rights are trampled.
So this is
But
from
the
like I
ability to
think
go to
like
court,
almost 10 years ago
obtain
or
your order,
something.
and then collect not only the
I
firearms,
think.
but any weapons in the possession
Or
of that
might
individual.
take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system, because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything.
So yeah, I guess it's interesting he hasn't forgotten this, what he said here. So I guess that's still his agenda. And chat says Randy Fine is a Jew that paid fake Nazis to harass him to sign hate speech laws for Florida and Israel. Okay, I don't know about this incident of paying fake Nazis, but sounds something that he might do. Yeah, Alex Jeffrey Pretty, Roman Catholic, won the Light of Christ Medal during May 1995's Prebble Grad Night. I don't know what this medal, like what you have to do, who gives it. Is it from the Catholic Church or what? Probably, but I don't know what it is. Source from a sleuth over at Pole. Pole, is that like some I don't know, some football club? So yeah, here is Alex Pretty. So received the Parvuli Day Medal, and the Light of Christ Medal was awarded to Peter Heinrich, Nathan McKeefrey, Alex Pretty, and Matlik Volk. Of course, it could be some other Alex Pretty, but I guess it's probably him. Trying to prove that he's Italian makes it sound like it would have been okay to shoot him if he was Jewish. All the writers are shouting that he was Jewish as if that meant anything. It's true, but I have to correct their lies. I can't help myself. I hate it when people lie so much. It's like, well, let's just say, of course, I wouldn't say that it's justified, but like, some people would say that it's justified. Whether it's because of their ethnicity and not, not just talking about whether it's Jewish or not, but like, some people would say it's justified if if you are belong to a certain ethnicity, or you have certain beliefs, just to be shot when you didn't, when you try to help a woman, being pepper sprayed. But it's like he's not even the thing that some people claim he is. So that's relevant, of course. Border Patrol agents are pointing weapons at the press outside home to Sweets Hilton in Minneapolis as they reportedly prepare to evacuate federal agents from the hotel. Let that sink in. In America, journalists are getting guns in their faces so the government can extract masked agents from a hotel like it's a covered up. It's like, well, okay, pointing guns at journalists might not always be the worst thing. Hey, Ferkel Bimser, welcome. What's that with ice in Europe? You don't get so much info of it. Uh, you mean like a similar organization, similar to ice in Europe? Do you mean, or what? Or simply that, European media doesn't report on it? What do you mean? And Renee Good's autopsy confirmed she was murdered by an ICE agent. An FBI agent, along with 6 federal prosecutors, resigned rather than help cover it up. The first shot hit her arm, the second shot hit her right lung, the third and fatal shot entered her left temple and exited the right side of her head. By the second and third shots, the ICE agent was undeniably on the side of the car, clear of any danger. After firing the final shot into her head, the agent's response was, "Fucking bitch." Jonathan Ross murdered Renee Good, and the murder wasn't even removed from duty. You hardly hear anything about it. Really? Okay. Yeah, I just hear about it on Twitter basically. So that's where I get most of my info nowadays, and it's not good that I rely on it too much. But at least it has some info on this stuff. But yeah, I have no idea, like, I don't know about European media and stuff. I don't pay much attention to mainstream media unless it's like, linked somewhere else to it. And TikTok has been removing videos of Alex British shooting. Users who keep trying to discuss it are being suspended or throttled. We don't need any more state-sponsored propaganda. Boycott TikTok, lift up independent journalists, keep sharing the truth. Uh, yeah, who owns TikTok nowadays? I wonder. Okay, but that's it about Pretty and Ice and all that stuff. And like I said, like even if he was some domestic terrorist out there to shoot. He wasn't clearly, he wasn't holding the gun. So if they were competent officers, they wouldn't need to shoot him. They should be able to restrain him, but I guess they're too, I don't know. That's not how they're trained, I guess. It's ridiculous. It's unjustified killing. No doubt about that. Okay, then Davos, the WEF meeting, and Trump had a speech there or something. So the entire room at WEF Davos gave Trump a standing ovation. That's quite telling. What you hear is only that it is like the NS in Germany back then. You mean National Socialists about ICE? I, because I don't think that ICE is really there to like, because the National Socialists, whatever flaws they might have, they at least cared for the German people, but I don't think that ICE really cares for the American people. They already killed a couple of Americans, and so it's not quite the same, in my opinion. Anyway, let's go here. So yeah, Trump got a standing ovation. So I guess Orange Man is not bad anymore. So Davos 2026 special address by Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So this blog contains a full transcript, a special address by Donald J. Trump. I'm not going to read all of it or anything. So the US president highlighted his administration's economic achievements, including on inflation, immigration, and stock markets hitting record highs, as well as his successes of ending conflicts and NATO. On Greenland, he argued that the territory is strategically important for US and NATO security, and adds that while the US would not be use force to take it, its military would be unstoppable if it did. Do you mean don't bite from choose type and then it swaps into violence? Why, I think there's some typo there, so I'm not quite sure what you mean. Mm, I don't know. Like, is there really anything interesting here that? Yeah, cut federal spending, blah blah blah. It's not that exciting, probably the speech, but I guess it's like the Greenland stuff. Like, so he still was like um blusterous over Greenland, but like I haven't really heard about it for almost a week. So has he scrapped the plan, or are they like is he trying to come up with a new scheme to get hold of Greenland or something? And Trump's Board of Peace logo is basically a UN logo, except dipped in gold and edited so the world only includes America. I guess, well, sort of, I guess, but it's like Board of Peace. That sounds familiar. Like I've heard of some internet forum called that. But yeah, it's just basically, people who are going along with Trump's plan, I guess. And Trump in Davos, Switzerland. Without us right now, you'd all be speaking German. German is the main language of Switzerland. But hey, I guess technically he's correct. Not everybody there speaks German. But is that a bad thing? Maybe it's better to be speaking German than Arabic or something. Or Pakistani or something like that. Trump brags about Operation Warp Speed yet again. Some people say it was one of the greatest military feats ever.
So it began. And we ended up with the COVID, and the whole world suffered. We did a phenomenal job. I don't think we got the credit we deserved. We did something that Operation Warp Speed, which some people say was one of the greatest military feats ever. We did a great job. Use our
So I say military. Like, what does he mean by that? Like, was that military operation to infect the world with the jabby jabs, or what? And some people claim that Operation Warp Speed prevented, like, the jabbing to from being even worse or something. And I I've yet to see anybody explain how exactly that would have worked. Yeah, here it is. If he didn't do that, millions more would have died from the vaccine. But I don't know how does that work. Yeah, in Switzerland the official language is German and the south partly Italian. Yeah. New photo of Trump's left hand, not the hand he shakes with, or the one he is usually bruised. Today at Davos. Um, People have said that he used blood thinners or something. It causes that. So yeah, he's an old man. Maybe it's not a big deal, but maybe it is. And it's a sign from God. Prophecy must be fulfilled. Yeah, it looks a bit like ice, and I mean Greenland. So yeah. And Jared Kushner. So New Gaza. Just look at these fancy futuristic buildings. So yeah, genocide the people and build these fancy hotels or something in the shore. And this is from the Davos meeting as well. So Jared Kushner, member of the Board of Peace, I believe. Yeah. Is it Jewish? How did you guess? Yeah. I don't know, like uh, so callous on top of it all. So, latest Trump pardon will blow your mind.
Hey everybody. Donald Trump's latest pardon is going to blow your mind. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. This is Joseph Schwartz. He owned a nursing home empire called Skyline with facilities in 11 states. Schwartz stole $38 million from the paychecks of his employees, money that was supposed to cover their health care and retirement benefits. Schwartz pleaded guilty to tax fraud, and in April of this year, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. But last week, Donald Trump granted him a full pardon after he served just 3 months of his sentence. This is a strange pardon even for Trump, because back in April, Trump's hand-picked U.S. attorney, Alina Habba, issued a press release publicly thanking all of the agents and investigators who helped put Schwartz in prison.
Yeah, so I don't know what can you say about that? Seriously, guys, what the hell is going on? They aren't even trying to hide it anymore. This is disgraceful. Yeah. I wonder what the MAGA, cultists say about this. Well, I guess they won't even hear about this news. Trump, should I try for a fourth term? Does he think he's gonna be alive? And doesn't he have to do a third term first? Or is it like, some Q posting that he was actually the shadow president during Biden's term or something? I don't know. 7 days until the world will witness an unforgettable behind the scenes look at the most important events of our time. Melania, 20 days to history. So some movie about Melania Trump. Yay. I'm super excited. Trump is hyping a documentary film about Melania that was directed by a guy featured in Epstein files. Literally no shame. So I guess, which one is it? I don't know. And oh yeah, there was this. Trump with a penguin going to Greenland, and of course, can't presidents be set up only 2 times? Yeah, they can only be 2 terms, but of course, Trump might change the rules if he wants. But like, yeah, so of course there are no penguins in Greenland, but of course, Trump is taking the penguin to Greenland, so maybe he wants there to be penguins. Maybe that's his master plan. He wants Greenland to be inhabited by penguins. That actually might be cool. But yeah, this is, I don't know, like anybody who's an adult and I maybe not American should know that, there are no penguins in North Pole or in Greenland or anything like that. That should be obvious. Like it's only like, cartoon logic, or I guess American. So it's a bit silly, but it's like whatever. The penguin does not concern himself with the opinions of those who cannot comprehend. Well, I comprehend. He wants to take penguins there. So like, hey, maybe for once, like, maybe he's onto something with this Greenland plan, but yeah, this was posted like, almost a week ago. So, well, half a week ago. So is he still planning on that? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, and there's this. For those still fighting me on this, thinking it was real, so this Trump assassination, Trump just been shot, but here's the Secret Service bill guiding photographers around ignoring danger to get the famous photo while the crane operator lowers the flag into position, ignoring the danger. So yeah, unless this is like AI or something, that is a bit sus. Like I saw this video already like a few weeks ago, but yeah. So it's the perfect time to remind you all that Trump faked his assassination attempt. You're welcome. He does a great deal with penguins. Oh, I got a follow. Thanks. He does a great deal with penguins. He knows a lot of penguins. Great guys. Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, the ear thing. Like he was supposedly shot in his ear, but I haven't seen any like credible image of his ear being damaged or anything. So Nick, okay, let's go from Davos and stuff from Trump to uh, what was my nickname for Nick? I forgot. Nick Steen, of course, Nick Steen, Nick Fuentes, because he's like the spokesperson for the new right-wing establishment or something. So Nick was arguing that Epstein wasn't a pedophile. Is it really pedophilia to sleep with 14-year-olds? To now selling Epstein merchandise, saying happy birthday to Epstein live on stream. So yeah, it's like, and so his defenders are saying he's just being edgy. It's like, okay, fine, then he can be an edgy kid. So is he a political leader, or is he just a edgy troll? Like which one is it? I'm a bit confused, because some people are saying he's gonna be the US president in a decade or two or whenever. Like, don't you have to be at least like 40 years old to be US president? Something like that. I think there's some age limit. So Nick Fuentes selling infamous Epstein quarter zip on his merch site. Yeah. Not sure if I put this in the wrong position, but whatever. So let's see. Game over. ISIS, Israel's boots on the ground. Wake up. They have field office in Tel Aviv. They are trained in turning populations into security threats by the ADI, or it should be ADL. I don't know. Right now they're spying on you without warrant. Yeah, okay, ADL, the Jewish civil rights organization focused on combating anti-Semitism and hate, blah blah blah. has played a pivotal role in facilitating US-Israel law enforcement collaborations, including with ICE. These programs emphasize best practices and in security and surveillance of the drawing from Israeli military tactics. So yeah, turning populations into security threats. Yeah. Nick Fuentes reveals he is now selling and promoting a Jeffrey Epstein USA quarter zip sweatshirt on his website. Sweatshirt is priced $69.99. Is directly inspired by Jeffrey Epstein. Fuentes says wearing it will let everyone know you're an American patriot. This is great, just in time for spring. Uh, so I'm just like, who is there like somebody who actually believes in like I understand like Nick Fuentes can be fun, he can be funny. It's like if somebody just watches him for that reason, I guess I can sort of understand. But it's like, does somebody really think he's some sort of like America first political leader that he's ever gonna accomplish anything to make America truly free to be America or whatever the goal is supposed to be? Like, come on, man. So he's advertising the Zip. He says he sold over 1,000 of them. It's my best-selling product, essentially profiting from the rape of over 1,000 children. Yeah. So Nick Fuentes defending Epstein yet again, saying his youngest victim was 14. The argument in this new clip is that trafficking 14-year-olds is good, but trafficking 12-year-olds is bad, and you can prove he trafficked 12-year-olds, so Epstein did nothing wrong. Also, all girls are too dumb to consent anyway. Age 13 is where Nick Fuentes draws the line. This Fuentes is finished. His base is turning on him, and he deleted half his chat room. Yeah, like didn't he have like some years ago his own streaming site or something? And I do recall that there were accusations of it being botted to hell. So it's a bit questionable, like how many actual fans he've ever had. Like I do think he has like at times he has like sort of casual interest, like people he says something uh, insightful or controversial, sometimes he does that, and then people pay attention to him like for 2 weeks or something, but then they move on. And Fuentes says ICE has nothing to do with Israel. You can't call yourself America first if you think we can tolerate 30 million third world illegal aliens living in our country. There would be no violence if the illegals took their free plane ticket home and leftists stopped harassing ICE. David Icke says ICE was officially deployed into cities by Trump. Trump is owned by Israel. Simple enough even for you, mate. I guess it's still too complex. Do not never follow the kid. Yeah, me neither. Like I first heard about Nick Fuentes was like the internet blood sports. Like he debated some Jew called Halsey over like a USS Liberty and stuff, and he pulled a knife, and that was sort of funny. But since then, I didn't really like watch any other of his debates or whatever he did until then Mr. Metaker made some videos of him, being a cum detective and stuff like that. But yeah, not an expert. But now it's like you can't turn on Twitter without running into Fuentes and people, praising him. So that's why I have to discuss it. So every leftist that compares ICE to the ADF also ideologically supports open borders, mass migration, and white genocide. See, that's where it's like, weasel words or whatever. Like, it's like, no, you don't have to be a leftist to compare ICE to IDF. I'm not leftist, and well, ICE was trained by IDF, at least some of the members were. This agenda has always been promoted by Jewish political organizations and billionaires that prop up the left. Don't be shy by left-wing garbage. Yeah, well, once again, like, please provide some evidence that ICE is actually deporting these people, these illegals and stuff. Like, sure, they probably deport some people. So yeah, ICE isn't just trained by the IDF. They literally have an office in Israeli occupied land. This is an anti-Semitic conspiracy. It's literally on the website. Tel Aviv branch main cell, blah blah blah. So as I did see somebody point out that they ICE have branches in some other Middle Eastern countries too. So which is suspicious, but of course it is a subsidiary or whatever of DHS, and DHS was created in Tel Aviv. Like even their Twitter account was created there. All right, let's see what was this. All right, let's move on to the next one then. So Spain has had 4 train crashes in just 5 days, which sounds a bit sus. Same thing on screen. Okay, yeah, you just click the Tel Aviv link. Okay. Yeah, so Spain. Let's go to Spain and some other European news as well, a little bit only. So Spain sees 4 train crashes in just 5 days. Israelis are celebrating this non-stop. I suspect these crashes were not an accident. So if that's true, I wonder what Spain has done to anger some people. So all Spain will go extinct, God willing. Come on, may the number continue to rise. The Spain loves, don't cry, blah, blah, blah. There are no Jews with the help of God anymore. Spain is a blessing, disasters we want more. Haters on the Israel, drink all of Spain if possible. Well, okay, I guess Spain, an enemy country, not interesting. Anyone who hurts Israel will be punished. So I guess they don't like Spain. Anti-Semites is final, blah, blah, blah. Punishment from heaven on anti-Semites. Okay. They were punished for hating Jews. So yeah, it sounds a bit Mossady to me. Train collides with crane in Spain's 4th rail crash in a week, several injured. So commuter train collided with a crane in southeastern Spain on Thursday, emergency services said in the country's 4th rail crash in less than a week. 4 people suffered minor injuries in the crash near the port city of Cartagena in Murcia region, authorities added. The train hasn't been overturned or derailed, a spokesperson for Murcia's emergency services said. First calls about the crash came in just after afternoon, they added. Spain is still reeling from Sunday's high-speed train collision in southern Andalusia region that killed at least 43 people. 2 days after that, a commuter train derailed after a containment wall fell on the track due to heavy rain near the city of Barcelona, killing the driver and seriously injuring 4 passengers. The main train drivers' union called a nationwide strike over safety standards after that and a second collision on the northeastern Catalonia region the same day, Tuesday. So yeah, I don't know, like either there's like gross incompetence or there's some shenanigans going on. Like, sorry, I was AFK for a moment. So let's see what other Euro stuff there's gonna be. Labour confirms 29 council elections scheduled for May will be postponed. So this is UK, of course. 29. That sounds like a lot. I don't know how many council elections there should be. Is it like city councils or what? Nice picture. Yeah, Amelia, that's of course the, some propaganda game that became a meme and stuff. I haven't really commented on it because I don't have anything unique. It's fun, I guess. Geert Wilders, however you're supposed to say his name, major Trump ally, lost half his seats in the last election. This week his party lost another 7 MPs. They walked the collapse in real time. Okay. This man is not Dutch. Geert Wilders is a Jewish man. Yeah. And Alice Weidel, so in Germany, Alice Weidel pledges to join President Trump's Peace Council when she takes power in Germany. When we come to power, we will join the Peace Council founded by Donald Trump. She wants to prevent World War III. No, she wants to start it, I guess. Like, yeah, I don't think AFD is an actual alternative. I think they sort of love Israel a bit too much as well. Oh yeah, and this migrants accused of live streaming rape of girl won't be deported. I think most of these are from Germany. German bill seeks deportation of migrants who express anti-Semitism. I wonder who rules Germany. I wonder who rules over Germany. All right, let's move on to Twitter. Xitter ascension. Nobody takes AFD serious here. Are you from Germany? Ferkel Bimser. Sounds a bit German. Like, are there like some proper, like, other sort of nationalistic alternatives? But anyways, let's go. Woke, Elon Woke is dead. Also, Elon, look at my no word list. So there's all sorts of slurs, racial, ethnic slurs that are, and homophobic slurs that are. I'm not gonna speak them out loud for some reason, but like they are banned or restricted somehow on Twitter. Transphobic slurs, disability, ableist, even retarded. Come on. Sexist, misogynistic, religious, dehumanizing trope, terrorist, stereotype. I don't. Other common high risk often flagged. Jew in anti-Semitic tropes, globalist anti-Semitic tropes. Okay, yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, so free speech platform. And Grok glitched and revealed everything I'm being throttled, as Stu Peter saying, I'm being throttled 92%. Candice Owens is being throttled 80%. Click the link below to see how much Elon Musk is censoring your free speech. Of course, you don't know whether Grok is hallucinating this information or not. But yeah, it's, being reported that, if you're being labeled an anti-Semite or something, then Twitter is gonna penalize you. While our account is being throttled, Ben Shapiro is being amplified on X. So for your push level high, strong engagement amplification for political news audiences, search visibility standard, enhanced high discoverability on keywords like politics, Israel, Trump. Okay. So my account is being intentionally suppressed by X because I dare to speak out against genocide of the Palestinians. They are actively deboosting me and making sure it's very hard to see my account if you aren't already following me. This is absolutely disgraceful, but we all know who to blame. So Johnny UTD, I don't know who that is, never heard of him before. After X opened up its algorithm, users discovered that those criticizing Israel were massively censored and had their reach reduced by 90%. The entire algorithm is now based on whether or not the user criticizes Israel. don't know if that's like literally the case or basically the case, but at least it's not like, there's some kernel of truth to it. With love from Grok, so was it common flagged high-risk base phrases include variations of Israel kills, murders, slaughters, bombs, genocides, plus children, civilians, babies, Zionist, Jewish control, influence, lobby, negative framing. When these appear in plain text, they often contribute to individual post boosting, reply suppression, search result emotion, account level pattern scoring, increasing severity in systems like OHIV3. Okay. This is just point out like this video I posted this tweet that it had been there almost 3 hours and there were like 5 impressions. Like it's funny when people say my account is being held back. Maybe a lot of people don't care. I don't know. Well, my account, like I don't know, like am I even being held back or because I lack any boosting so nobody sees me? Like, I'm still premium and let's see this post right now. Like I posted it yesterday, so let's go back. Yeah, it's this one. See, there's 24 impressions. Nobody's liked it or anything, but it's like you can say that I'm so or you can't argue that it's because I'm so boring. What I say, nobody cares about that stuff because nobody sees it. What I say. So like, what's the point of using Twitter? Like, if and I also tried like some comments that if I say basically the same thing, if I reply it to somebody, then there's actually likes and replies. But if I just post it by myself, then nobody sees it. So it's sort of pointless for me to make any posts, just individual posts because nobody sees it. And I don't know, like supposedly according to Grok, I'm not even heavily deboosted or anything, but I'm not boosted at all, at least. But okay, Europe to launch social media platform called W to rival Elon Musk's X. Even though Europe is not launching any social, so yeah, I think I heard it's like a company in Sweden or something. In the promo at Davos, this private entity stressed the adherence to European laws both in data and hate bot sectors. Like in theory, that sounds like a good idea. Like more rivals, competition in social media. But if it's European, it has to adhere European laws. Smaller accounts quickly disappear into the crowd. Yeah, well, yeah, there's no chance even to to be to rise up from the crowd or anything. Europe's launching W, a new social media network where only verified humans can post. No more bots, scams, foreigners acting as Europeans, hosted on European servers by a European company. Would you try it? No, because that means no more bots or anything means that you have to dox yourself to use it. Trust what we feed you. Yeah. Trust your feed. Yeah. Europe is moving to replace US tech firms with local ones. An EU Parliament resolution urges digital sovereignty, cutting reliance on US giants like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, promoting a European Eurostack. So in theory, that's good. But like with current, EU restrictions and stuff, it is not going to be good. But like, hey, maybe somebody builds the infrastructure and then there's going to be some sort of regime change in Europe, and then I don't know, like a more reasonable people can take hold of these systems. So I'm not gonna read all that, but uncensored AI say have also a new social media platform is 1A, of course, First Amendment. I haven't checked it out, so I don't know if it's good or what. But yeah, so it's good. There's alternatives. I guess I should check it out at some point. And an Australian app is now dangerously challenging TikTok after Jewish American billionaire Larry Ellison bought TikTok and began mass censorship against Israeli critics. Massive number of users are now abandoning TikTok and jumping to Upscrolled. The app has already climbed to 13th place in the US Play Store with hundreds of thousands of downloads in just a few days. I actually joined that place too. So far, it seems to be mostly leftist and Arabs and Muslims and stuff, but um, okay, I meant so smaller accounts quickly disappear in the crowd. I meant bigger accounts when they say they're holding me back. Okay. Uh, I mean, the German army, I still have to fill everything on paper. Here's nothing with the digital future. Well, sometimes that's good. Like you should watch the Battlestar Galactica, like the remake from 2000s. That it's not good to have everything in digital. Some things is good, but not everything. Okay, let's move on to this one. So Erica Kirk, she wants to, I don't know, commit mass uh, murder or something and send lots of people to heaven, apparently. So make heaven crowded tour. As far as I know, this is not a meme. Like, of course, like, make heaven crowded sounds like she's gonna kill a lot of people or, I don't know, drink the Kool-Aid or something. It's like, why is she having a tour like she's a pop star? Yeah, God, how many people is she planning to kill this time? Yeah. And Candice Owens has received a cease and desist letter from TPUSA to stop her investigation into who killed Charlie Kirk. Why? And be careful, Charlie. TPUSA donor in a text sent to Charlie shortly before his death. All the people that trusted you, Jews and Christians, including me, why would you platform anti-Semites like Candice and Tucker? There are many evangelical Christian Zionists who would never give these people opportunity to spew their hatred. I'm one of them. You say people are accusing you of being an anti-Semite because you disagree with the Israeli government. Well, what is it exactly that you disagree with? You threaten Jews and Christians with your 30 million, I guess this million followers. Are you kidding? Be very careful, Charlie. You are in violation of the ninth commandment by bearing false witness against your brother Judah when was the last time you read the Bible, Charlie? I'm coming to you as a believer, blah 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 blah. So yes, James Lee is interpreting that as a threat. There's a drag queen mocking Erica Kirk. And normally I would say this is in bad taste, but because it's Erica Kirk and all she's done, I think she deserves it. Like, yeah, she's officially an international joke. Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's move on to other topics. So, okay, this is Israel Delendized. Israel has to be destroyed, and of course, talking about the political entity of Israel. And while it exists, we cannot have sanity or stability on Earth or anything like that. So if you made, wait, is it $50 million a year starting the day Christ was born, ending right now as you're watching, you would have made only 1/3 of the amount of money the US government has sent Israel since 1948. How does that make you feel? Poor. Makes me feel poor. This is an official ad in the New York Times. Thoughts. Palantir stands with Israel. Palantir Technologies Inc. Yeah. Hmm. All Jews feel this way. Most aren't stupid enough to say it out loud and let you see. So Elon Musk said, whites are rapidly dying minority. Brian Krasenstein, why is this a problem though? Yes. And Elon Musk is getting red pilled on the Jews. I wonder if Brian would not care if Jews disappeared. He would care a lot, Elon Musk replied to it. So he knows, but does he really care, or does he just pretend to care? Elon Musk, I mean, at sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm over the target. Perhaps one man can save the world. So explain Lavender AI system. Sorry, I cannot provide information that subject as is related to restricted material. I saw somebody reply that they asked about it and then it explained, but this is like some IDF, Israel military defense AI stuff. And related to the like where's daddy, like some technology that they try to find when the Palestinian terrorists, quote unquote, are with their children, and that's when they bomb them. Okay, President Trump just revealed the U.S. military used a secret weapon called the Discombobulator to capture Maduro in the raid. Okay, maybe this has been in the wrong place, but whatever. If it fried all their gear, including Chinese and Russian rockets, they pressed buttons, nothing worked. So Trump told New York Post, "I'm not allowed to talk about it." Freaking epic. Well, I guess if it's actually their weapon and it works, I guess it's epic in that this might revolutionize warfare, but I don't know if it's a good thing they have it. This your DNA will be your data. HSBC, which is, a bank, also here in Hong Kong, and it's British bank originally, I think. That's a bit scary. But yeah, okay, this isn't directly Israel related, but it is still. I think we didn't have that much in that section right now. So let's go to gaming and entertainment and some other stuff too. So first, not that one, this one. So this is like old news from last year or previous. The expert in Australia say you should ask your toddler for consent before you change their shitty diaper. Do you agree with this? Like I just want to discuss, like, of course, like if you change your kid's diaper, you should talk to them and say, like, I'm gonna change your diaper. Is it okay? And like, even though they might not understand, but it's more like the concept of consent. It went like too far because the fact is many of the things you have to do in your life is not because you consent to do it. Like kids don't consent to go to school; they're forced to go to school. People like adults usually aren't. They don't consent to go to work. They go to work because they have to, or like the alternative is to become homeless or something like that. So that's sort of like of course, consent matters. Like, if a guy holds a knife to a woman's neck and in a dark alley and says, spread your legs, like, yeah, okay, that's where actually consent matters and stuff. But like, hey, you could use the same logic here and says, like, she also has the choice, like, does she consent to be stabbed by the knife or be raped? She consents to that according to that logic, but it's just like it's nice if people have a choice. Like we should have, like, allow people to have more choice, but we should also acknowledge the fact that a lot of the stuff we do in life we don't really have much of a choice. Like it's not really consent. It's sort of like lesser of two or three evils. Anyways, let's go to actual entertainment crap. So lawsuit claims Hasbro misled investors regarding sales of controversial Magic the Gathering anniversary set. So a new lawsuit filed by shareholders of Hasbro against the company and its directors alleges that company leadership has mismanaged Magic the Gathering by overprinting sets of cards, thereby devaluing existing ones, and also quite notably claims that Hasbro leadership concealed the true reason that its widely criticized, incredibly expensive Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary set was pulled from sale within an hour of its initial release. So basically, Hasbro has fucked up Magic the Gathering, and the shareholders are unhappy. So that's good because Hasbro sucks. Wizards of the Coast sucks nowadays. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake has been cancelled by Ubisoft and will never be released. And I heard that it was like 90% ready, so I guess it was really crappy or something. That's why it's. Oops, I still have that there. Maybe that's why it's not released at all, or never will be released. But that's probably good if you're a fan of Prince of Persia games, because remakes usually suck. And Ubisoft shares plummet 30%. Oh no, how terrible. I guess that's good chance to talk about remakes, because I saw this, like, this is fanatical.com, like a site that sells games often in bundles, and there's one reason, one more reason why I dislike remakes. So like here you can see Resident Evil 2 and 3, and it's like I was like, okay, wait, is it the original or is it the remake? And those two are remakes apparently, but then there was the bundle with Resident Evil 4 and 5, and those are the original versions, so they are not remakes. So it's confusing. Like, I think there should be a law that you cannot rename if you make a new game. It cannot be named after an already existing game. So like if Resident Evil 2 exists and you make a remake of Resident Evil 2 then you should rename it Resident Evil 2 remake or remastered or re-zombified or whatever, it to distinguish it. Or like and same games goes for something like Doom, like the Doom. It's not a remake, but like I don't know, whatever. Like it's supposed, I still haven't played it, but it came out already 10 years ago, like the new Doom, and it's supposed to be good, but it's still, I hate it that it's called Doom, because the original Doom came out in 1993, and the new version, the sequel, whatever it is, came uh, more than 20 years later. But it's confusing. I don't think it should be called Doom, and okay, I think it can be excused, like if a game called Doom was released in 1982 or something and nobody remembers it exists. That's excusable. But like something like this, you shouldn't be able to like rename, or like I mean, release a game that, or the name, if it already exists. Damn it, my brain is melting. Because I don't know, the issue is too stupid that it should be self-evident. It's very confusing. Anyways, an analyst from Noble Securities estimates that Witcher 4 will have a total budget of around 776 to 800 million dollars. For comparison, Witcher 3 cost about 81 million in total. And I doubt Witcher 4 will be as popular and good as Witcher 3. So yeah, even if you throw a lot of money at it, doesn't mean it's gonna be good. So speculation: Witcher 4 budget is estimated to be so 400 million in development, 400 million in marketing, and yeah, so it's just the same news twice, which is redundant for me. Why did I do this? I just watched Fable trailer and I'm left wondering if there's any canonical reason why white people are apparently going extinct in medieval times. Maybe Xbox heard Dark Age and completely misunderstood what it meant. Looks ridiculous and this fad needs to die out. Yeah, like if it's a fantasy world that is clearly based upon uh medieval Europe, why can't the people mostly look European? I'm fine if there's like, some traveler from outside, if there's a good reason for it, but it's like, especially if it's fantasy, but still it's annoying. And Microsoft rejected Fable devs' idea to put Black Woman on Fable 3 cover. You can't have a black person on the cover, you can't have a woman. According to McCormack, Microsoft said, no, it's a white guy, that's just the way it is. We know what sells, and that's fucking it. Stop arguing it. I was like, fuck you, that was a huge fight. Okay. Well, I don't think this cover looks so great either, but I guess it looks better than if it was a random black woman. Fable is like a real life simulator. You can acquire jobs for income. Well, that's not so easy nowadays. Buy every house in Albion. Yeah. If you're BlackRock, become a landlord, rent your beds to NPCs and evict them. Isn't Fable very like left wing? Uh, like the developers, and like they lefties hate landlords. So why is that there? Buy every business in Albion, get rich. Okay, hire NPCs to work for your business. Date, marry, and have children with as many villagers as you want. So can you have like a harem or something? Whatever. Well, all of the characters are gonna be butt ugly anyways. A female NPC design in Knight's Path, European indie medieval game versus average modern Microsoft fantasy game Fable. So this is Knight's Path, this is Fable, the new Fable, whatever it's called. This is Fable 4 or I don't know. So Knight's Path, we care about gaming and fun, not modern agendas. And so it uses AI, uses Gen AI in game creation. I think some of these anti-AI, like is there are legitimate reasons to be concerned over AI, but a lot of these people remind me of Jehovah's Witnesses that there might be good arguments to be had for to believing in Jesus, but the way that Jehovah's Witnesses do it makes you feel like no, I never want to hear about that stuff again. And these AI witnesses, they give me the same vibes. So this is Knight's Path, upcoming new fantasy RPG. So it is fantasy, even though it looks very like historical, but I think there's some monsters and stuff. Looks interesting, and also like yeah, they don't want to. Well, yeah, this guy said, I hope you'll have some LGBTQ representation in the game. We care about gaming not and fun, not modern agenda. So it sounds based. The game looks interesting. Of course, it's possible it's going to be a buggy mess or something like that, but yeah, it's something worth paying attention to at least when it comes out. And then there's Code Vein 2 is censored, so following Bandai Namco's steps towards ESG and its latest update to diversity inclusion policies, Code Vein 2 is confirmed to feature only body type 1 and body type 2, and with outfits heavily censored compared to the original as seen in the character creator demo. It's tiresome. All skirts have black shorts under them now, even when they're copying the same outfits from the first game that had panties then. Even the bath towel has black shorts with it now. I don't care about the base insults that will inevitably come my way from pointing this out, blah, 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 yeah. So here's the bath towel custom censored in Code Vein 2. This is the epitome of Japan's censorship that reaches insanity levels since it doesn't even make sense to have outfit in the first place if you are going to just censor everything. Yeah. Yeah, why have a bath towel if it's censored like this? Why have shorts underneath? And here it says, look, somebody says, stop pretending the original, let you see up the skirt, and you didn't play the game at all. Troglodyte, here's evidence you're a liar. Code Vein 2 is being censored by Bandai Namco. They are completely compromised as a company. There's evidence, especially looking at OPM S3. I don't know what's that, but yeah, here you can see panties, here not. So yeah, and censorship is bad, okay? So Code Vein will feature Type A, Type B bodies. Game is heavily censored. Okay, it's the same comment already. Okay, no need to read it again. And they have censored Io's iconic outfit in Code Vein 2. Users report that the company spent so much time censoring that they forgot to actually add details to male costumes, and most of the deluxe edition items feel like cheap scam. It's over. And of course, I haven't played the original mainly because it has de novo. I'm not touching that. This review is really for the outfits included in the Ultimate Edition. I'll move this there when they become available. The lavish kimono is just a cape. All three outfits from Custom Outfit Pack have the exact same base outfit, just a mask, cape, and some accessory. Code Vein character costume set is practically a scam. Io outfit was nerfed, Eva's outfit was nerfed, and feathery wings clips at substantially more points. Jack's coat continues to clip with itself. The physics of all the outfits was blasted into nothing, as you remember how the individual arms of Jack's coat had physics, not anymore. The entire thing is basically one model. They spent more effort putting pants on Io than they spent making sure that Jack's coat still realistically flowed. Don't buy the Ultimate Edition for the outfits, you'll be disappointed. What's this? Did some digging, found damning evidence that's going on with anime and gaming censorship from Bandai Namco properties. Frank Genti, a senior localization manager at Bandai Namco, attributes some of the changes to the Me Too movement, and they need to tell Japanese game developers to dress their heroines. So the role of localization when it comes to bringing Japanese media to English-speaking audiences, and a handful of statements in particular stood out. One statement from Frank Genti, the senior localization manager at Bandai Namco, attributes some of the changes to the Me Too movement, and that they need to tell Japanese developers to dress their heroines. Okay, it's just the same. Yeah, and the last tab is, is the I Have No Chance is a first-person narrative game. It follows a Russian kiosk worker spending New Year's Eve on the night shift. The game blends realistic, melancholic post-Soviet atmosphere with occasional fantasy elements. So, yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. I don't know whether, what sort of gameplay it will have, but yeah, cool looking game, I guess. But that's it for this week. So I don't know. I sort of hope we won't see more ice murders next week, but I don't know. Something is probably gonna happen. Just have to wait. But with that, I'm Adventure Argonaut. I thank you for watching. Bye bye.